All right, welcome back to my kitchen. I'm going to show you how to find a second derivative of a function that requires the chain rule to derive on the first time. So I can see here, this is very much a classic. Gotta love it. E to the x squared being the internal function. If we go ahead and derive this with our chain rule, this is one of the first ones that any of your teachers worth their salt will show you. We've got e to the x squared. We have to multiply that bad boy by 2x, right? Because x squared is the internal function. In my class, we have f of g of x. So a lot of my kids would sit here and say, oh, well, you know, y equals f of g of x. And they might even go through and say f of x equals e to the x, g of x equals x squared. Ugh. Let's just list out everything because I already started. F prime of x is e to the x, of course, because we're boring. G prime of x equals 2x, almost as boring. And then, you know, f prime of g of x, which is e to the x squared times g prime of x, 2x. All right, so nothing too exciting there. I've done a lot of these problems with my class. And now, you know, our ultimate goal is to find the second derivative, or d squared y dx squared, right? That's our ultimate goal. But in order to do that, let's just take another classic look. This is a product, right? 2x is multiplying e to the x squared. So again, a lot of the times in my class, when I just started doing this year, but just as a visual help, but I'm just going to draw a straight line down the middle. What's the derivative of 2x? That's 2. And what's the derivative of e to the x squared? Well, shucks, that's just, have I ever derived e to the x squared before? Yes, I have. So I'm going to put e to the x squared 2x down here again. This can be a little tricky because you need to remember that even though that we are working with 1/2 of a function, we still need to use the chain rule. And now we just mix and match, right? We're not going to do the meme like some of us do. So now d squared y dx squared equals, I'm going to mix and match, you know, little x type thing here, 2 e to the x squared plus, and I'm going to be a little bit messy, 2x e to the x squared 2x. And because I'm a fancy boy, I'm just going to get a little stylish. I'm going to write, you don't need to, you know, if you're one of my kids watching this, like, oh, do I need to be stylish? Think about this as the multiple choice format. All I'm going to do is I'm going to factor out a 2e to the x squared. Again, you know, I don't know if you're listening, number 4, but don't worry too much about this. 2x squared. That's just for fun because I like things to look nice. But if you just get here, you are going to be all lined up for you know, what I want you to be able to do right now. Again, the key being this split on that second level. And again, be super slow and say, hey, what's the derivative of e to the x squared? Say it to yourself out loud. You'll remember that you got to do the chain rule to get this second layer. Derivative of 2x is just 2, right? Remember our product rule, then we mix and match. You know, looks like a mess, but hey, that's the wonderful thing, right? Simplifying is its own challenge.